you long, babe, you need the truth. Seen you dancing, I noticed you. The way you work it, you got me loose. Started as a fucking problem child. Tell your mama you my problem now. I'm just trying to get you out the town.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lando. Welcome back to the Lando XP podcast. I'm your host, Mason, on the line, and today we are joined by the one and only Umbra.
What's up, baby?
What's up? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, doing all right. I've been having a pretty productive day, but other than that, I'm tired as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, you guys may remember Umbra because we've talked to him on the channel before. We did an interview with him about a year ago now, back when he was under the name Kid Slit, but now he's under the name Umbra, which is definitely a better name in my opinion. Can we all agree?
It'd be like that, bro.
Yeah, it's been a year since that interview. Think about that.
Has it actually?
I think so, yeah.
Damn, that's fucking wild, bro.
Anyway, we're not here to do a whole another interview again. Instead, we're here to talk about an upcoming project that Umbra is releasing. How soon?
Within the next month or two, so really fucking soon.
Yeah, and this project is called Morningside Drive, correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so of course I would like to ask a couple questions about this project, as well as some side questions as well. That I'm just asking out of curiosity.
Bet.
Um, so the first thing I would like to ask is, when did you start working on this project, and how did it start like developing?
So Morningside Drive originally started as like an EP that I had planned like a year ago. Um, Basically, when I was under the name Kid Slit, I was not like I didn't have as much creative freedom as I do now because of myself and my surroundings. So, um, like throughout the past year, I've been working on this project. It's changed a lot, definitely, and a lot of songs have been cut from it. I'm currently on the third draft of the EP, which is hopefully the last draft, but who knows? But it all started a year ago, like I said, and just recently I changed the name to Morningside Drive, and it's been something I haven't been talking about. I had other EPs planned, but this is my main one that I'm working on, and it's gonna be the first of a series that I'm working on. And yeah, that's basically it in terms of that, in terms of backstory.
How many songs over the course of working on this project would you say you have recorded and scrapped?
Oof, oh man, I mean, I've probably scrapped around 20 songs. They're not scrapped entirely, they're just cut off of the EP because I've had so many different ideas for like the whole entire EP where like my mind just keeps changing as far as what I want to do with the EP and what the story is going to be and how I'm feeling. So now I'm at a pretty good spot to where I can just record songs and have them be consistent and cohesive while at the same time being completely different vibes. So I've probably scrapped from the project around 20 or so songs so far, but I still have some of them completed, and I'm probably going to drop them as singles or on another project that I'll shortly be working on after this one.
How many songs are on this project?
There's gonna be around 7 or 8. Um, one of the songs is already released. It's titled "The Way," and that's gonna be the intro to the project. Everything else is gonna be completely new and unheard.
Yeah, that's a good song, by the way. I encourage you guys to go listen to that song. There will be a link in the description.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. So, speaking of songs, you posted this the snippet on your Instagram that you also sent me beforehand, and that same snippet you guys heard in the intro. It's a song called "I Love Drugs," and what I noticed about the song is that it kind of had like this little like R&B type feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Is that
Um,
is that the sound you're trying to go for on this project manually, or is it just like a combination of a bunch of different sounds?
okay, so the EP itself, it has multiple different genres. Like, hold up, I have a whole list on my phone of what genres I have done on it so far. Let me pull it up really quick. Basically, I want this EP to be versatile as possible, and still make it cohesive to where all the sounds work together, but they're completely different genres. So there's gonna be breakcore on the EP. There's gonna be drum and bass. There's gonna be R&B. There's gonna be psychedelic trap. There's gonna be indie, future R&B, and industrial, all on this EP. And in I Love Drugs, there's three different genres within the song. I only made a snippet of one of them, and it was the R&B part because I feel like that's something I haven't really showcased my abilities with. So in making that snippet, it was basically saying, okay, look, I can do different shit and make it consistent, consistently great. So um there's gonna be a lot on the project and it's gonna be a lot to take in. It's more of an artistic project than a hey, look, I make good music type thing.
Right. And do you sing a lot on this project?
Yes, it's a lot of melodic music, I would say. I tend to stay away from rap now, because it just got really boring to me. Over time, over the past 4 years, 5 years, however long it's been of me making music, I used to always rap, and it's something I want to stay away from because it's like, you know, everybody can rap, everybody can pick up a microphone and rap. Not everybody has the same capabilities when it comes to singing. So I try to, and singing is just fun to me. I've always loved singing. So
Yeah.
being able to finally do it and being able to make it sound good in the same process is really just good for me, to be honest, like for myself.
Yeah, cause I was gonna ask, do you ever feel vulnerable while singing? Because, of course, anybody can rap because it doesn't require as much, power in the voice, but whenever you're singing, you gotta like work it a little more. Have you ever felt more vulnerable when singing?
Yeah, all the time. Like whenever I'm singing, I just let my emotions take over, and I feel like that's what really carries melodic songs is being able to push those emotions through the microphone and being able to let the listeners like basically go into your mind in a way and kind of feel what you're feeling in a way. In a sense, they're just stepping into your shoes and figuring out what it's like to be you. Every single song on this project is based off of real events that happened to me, and I'll probably share more about the info on those events soon, after the project rolls out finally, and I'll explain the songs a lot more in depth. But all the songs tell a story, and it honestly blew me away. Because what I do to write music is I write it all from my subconscious. It'll all just I'll see the words before I even write them down, and like I'll hear a beat and I'll be like, okay, I know exactly what to talk about on this beat. I'll write to it and I won't even think. It just goes right onto the pad, you know? And that's the beauty behind making this melodic music to me is because all of the stories I tell through my melodic music are completely and utterly me. So I'm definitely really vulnerable, um, in a vulnerable state whenever I'm singing.
Yeah, I agree with that because even though like people say there's people out there who say you can't make good music if you're not good at singing, but I'll say this, some of the best albums I've ever heard in my life and the people who sing on them, you could easily consider them as not great singers. And I'm talking Pink Floyd, Radiohead, all those people. Those people like Tom York or Sid Barrett, whatever, you could look at them and not really consider them great singers. But I'll tell you, like albums like The Piper at the Gates of Dawn and OK Computer or In Rainbows, some of the best fucking albums I've ever heard in my life. And
Yeah,
it's just, but even though like they may not be good singers, it's just the emotion they put out, and that's why, you know, it makes me want to listen to it, you know.
yeah, because it's telling an actual story and like coming straight from the person's heart.
That is true. What artists would you say have inspired the sounds that are on this project? Like
Oh,
who have you been listening to a lot when making this
man.
album?
I've been listening to so many artists, bro. I've been listening to people ranging from anywhere to like Sofago to um Pink Panthers and Tory Lanez, Bryson Tiller, um Eric DOA. Don Tolliver was a big inspiration for this project. Um, People like The Weeknd, Keshi. I've been listening to a lot of like Smino and shit. So a lot of really vibey artists and like Dro Kenzie and shit. So it's really inspired by like just having a good. It's inspired by these artists because I feel like these artists have a good time while recording it, and also at the same time they're really focused on driving that emotion into the song and telling those stories and making everything cohesive. So like they've been a really big inspiration to the sound of the project itself.
Was organizing the track list a big part of making this project in order to make it sound like if someone were to listen to it all the way through?
Man, I cannot tell you how many times I rearranged this damn project, bro, especially on this draft that I'm on right now, because I'm a perfectionist. I try to get everything as good as possible to my abilities. And the track list itself is really hard for me to get down. So I'll ask different people. Like just the other day I showed Mind the project. I love Mind. He's one of my biggest inspirations. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Um he really he enjoyed it. He really did enjoy it. He said he really fucked with it, and um there's a specific song on the EP that he really liked, which I'm not even gonna say the name of because I want that shit to be a surprise. But it was really good hearing that from somebody that I look up to and somebody that I genuinely enjoy their music, and really the track listing is really the hardest part of this whole process. It's not even writing and recording the songs, it's getting that track list as perfect as possible and getting everything to sound like flow well and sound cohesive enough to my standards.
Yeah, I really like an organized track list on an album, because there's a lot of artists out there who, especially in like pop music and like pop rap music, especially, there's a lot of like, and especially, a lot of the mainstream people like Drake who just like throw a bunch of tracks together and calling it an album when really it should be called a compilation, just,
Yeah.
and making like albums that are like the length of a movie. Like,
Yeah.
I just, I like an album that, like, for me, the length of an album, the sweet spot is like 45 minutes. That's
Yeah.
the sweet spot. When you're
Yeah.
reaching, when you're reaching an hour, that's like, you're pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the movie length, that's just, nah, like, you better have something in that album to justify it.
Yeah, for sure.
And Drake sure as hell did not.
Nah.
Cause Certified Lover Boy, I don't care what anybody says, it's still a really horrible album. I don't care.
Yeah, it wasn't too enjoyable to me, to be honest. It was kind of boring.
Yeah. What do you want people to take away from this project? Do you want people to get a certain meaning from this project, or do you want people to come up with their own interpretations from each song?
I love personally when people make their own interpretations from the music because that's what makes the fans and the supporters or whatever you want to call them, it makes them indulge more into the sound and it makes them feel like, that song is catered towards their life personally. So when people make like when people feel a certain song in their life is very prominent and very they're like, oh, this is my situation, this is exactly what I'm going through. I love when people are able to do that because it lets the fans connect with the artists and vice versa a lot more.
Yeah.
So there is a meaning to the project, but at the same time I would love for people to come up with their own meanings towards it.
Yeah, like different meanings, like whenever I listen to a project, I usually try my best to stay away from going on places like genius.com or like doing research or trying to figure out which song means.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like I try my best to like even though I'm not really like that like good with like poetry. So whenever I listen to a song that's very poetic like, it's kind of hard for me to understand what they're trying to get when there's so many metaphors going around. So I really have to
Yeah.
like I have to like read it over and over again and really like pay attention to try and understand what it's saying.
Yeah, I feel that a lot.
Yeah. Um is there any people featured on this project? And if there is, do you mind telling us who is?
This project is gonna be completely solo, only for the fact that I want it to be purely me. Um, Most of the tracks on the project are produced by me, even, including the one we were just talking about. I love drugs. That's completely produced by me, and I really just want to showcase um my range and showcase my ability to make the music that I make and be able to do it well. And another part of me making this completely solo is the cohesiveness again. I really want it to flow correctly. So in making the project entirely me, it's much easier for me to set up a track list and be able to make it as cohesive as possible and easy to listen to.
Heard that. I hope everybody's still listening. Better not be ignoring what this man's saying.
Oh God.
How has your mental health been overall for you these past few months? Has everything been okay at all for you?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I've been getting better. I've been able to take life as it is and be able to be as peaceful in my life as possible. Um, Partly because I started getting out a lot more and started being able to do what I truly want to do since I'm not in school anymore. So being able to kind of narrate my own life and dictate what I do, um, it's a lot easier to deal with yourself um, when you find yourself in a sense. Um, I've truly just evolved as a person over these past few years, and I hope that's evident to the people that have been with me for so long. And every day I try to progress and become a better person. So every day that goes by, I'm just progressing and pushing myself further. So I really am getting better. I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah, real shit. I'm looking out for my friends.
Yeah, I
Even
feel
though
you, bro.
even though I don't really talk to everybody in this community all the time, that's because I just don't have time to.
Yeah,
And the thing is that I don't like. I know this may seem like a dicky thing to do, but I don't like messaging everybody constantly asking them how they're doing.
yeah,
Because it's just like I like to space things out sometimes.
yeah, and it gets draining. You can't carry everybody's weight on your shoulders when you got your own.
Another thing I would like to talk about is when's the collab tape with Arsoul coming out?
Oh man, I was hoping you'd ask something about that tape. Oh man. So we're anticipating it to either have it out by the end of this year or early next year. We really want to try our best with this project since we've known each other for so long and we've been talking about it for years. We've been talking about doing something like this. And now that it's finally coming into fruition, we really want to try to perfect it for the people that enjoy our music and cater it towards them. It's going to be purely R&B influenced, and most of it is also going to be produced by me. And I might even get Ghost Interlude. Shout out to my boy. Um, I might get him to co-produce some of the songs. So it's gonna be it's gonna blow y'all away.
That's good to hear, man. Like a Umbra and Our Soul project. Just the thought of it, just like it sounds like something that could be a hit.
It's gonna be insane, man. Y'all probably heard Tug of War, and if you didn't, go stream that shit. But
Oh yeah,
if
for
y'all
sure.
heard that, man, y'all are gonna be shocked by what's in store.
What's this cover art look like?
Oof.
Do you have like a planned cover art?
I have a plan cover. I just gotta find the perfect artist to do it. Um, there's this street that I actually named this EP after, and it's called Morningside Drive. And I took a few pictures in front of the sign, and they didn't really come out the way I envisioned. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm either gonna end up paying a 3D visual artist to implement like cartoony vibes also into the real world type situation. Um, I love shit like that. And I feel like it caters a lot towards the sound of the EP. And another idea I had for it was just getting a 2D artist to do some scribble art on it. I feel like that would also be dope because it also ties into the meaning of the EP and the whole vibe of it. So really, I'm just trying to find an artist or two that can make some drafts of it, and then whichever one I like the best, I'm a buy that one.
Yeah, because a good cover art, is always like,
Yes, expand.
even though it doesn't really have much to do with like the music itself, it's it's what attracts the eye. So
Yep, it speaks volumes, and a lot of people judge by first covers. So, you know,
yeah, people judge the cover, people judge an album by like the cover.
yep,
I mean, look at Donda. Donda was just a fucking black square, and
yeah, but
that was a good album.
yeah, it worked artistically.
I mean, like there's cover arts like To Pimp a Butterfly. That cover has a lot of meaning to it,
Yeah,
especially.
yeah.
How do you deal with frustration?
Like in terms of music or in my life in general.
Both.
Okay. Well, in music, I usually take my frustration out. So, like I don't get very angry anymore. I don't know why. Um, maybe it's because I'm getting older, and maybe it's because I'm finally seeing the world in a different light. But um, I don't tend to get very angry anymore, and it's a blessing and a curse because I don't necessarily know how I'm feeling a lot of the time, especially when it's a situation that would get me mad normally. But usually my frustrations come from being alone. Um, because I don't really have that many like I have friends, but like I don't have that much of a social life in real life because I either spend my time making music, and don't get me wrong, I love making music, and I also spend half my time going to work, but at the same time I'm frustrated with myself in the sense because I can't um I can't converse with people comfortably, and I can't make stable friends, stable connections within my own community. Um so whenever I do have frustrations from that, I just write down my feelings. They, like I said, they come subconsciously, and I just hear the music, put my words to it, and tell my story. And like I'd say a few of the songs on my project are based off of like events that really got me frustrated in terms of social or relationship aspects. Um, but that's how I deal with that musically. But in real life, if I'm ever frustrated about something, usually like through my day to day, I'm frustrated about something I can't do or something that I feel like I can't accomplish. And the way I get through that is really I'll just lay down, maybe sit down somewhere whenever I have the chance, and I'll meditate, or I'll like just pull up some videos on YouTube, just de-stress a little bit and go about my day after that. And really, that's as simple as it is. Or I'll just go outside in nature, in the woods, or in the park, and just sit down for a bit and take everything in, not listening to any music, not talking to anybody, just sitting down me in the woods and just feeling nature. And really, that's what tends to help me, is just being myself and having that sense of freedom.
You sound like me when you say that, but because I do some of the same shit.
Yeah, it's really good, bro. It really does help with people's mental state, and it took me a while to realize that.
Yeah, it does definitely. I mean, I know not everybody's into like meditation and all that stuff, but I feel like it can help a lot of people if more people did it, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. I feel like a lot of people have a stigma, or a stigmatism around it, and I feel like that's from like just like whether they see it being mocked in like a TV show, or people just find it stupid or like quote unquote edgy to do. I mean, like regardless of why the person doesn't do it, I mean, I think they should do it at least once in their life, because really meditation does heal a lot of shit. It might not be instant, but once you do it over time, you finally become at peace with yourself because you're just thinking your thoughts and letting them flow.
Going back to the project, what's your favorite song on this project?
Oof, man. I'm probably gonna have to say, man, um, oh man, that's a really tough question. It's either between Said and Done and I Love Drugs, but I'm probably gonna have to go with I Love Drugs because of the fact that it's something new that I'm doing, and at the same time, it sounds really fucking good. Um, at least to my standards. But I'm gonna have to say I Love Drugs. It really is a really good song all the way through.
So, given that the song is called "I Love Drugs," I'm asking this question out of concern, but do you do drugs?
I used to a lot. I used to smoke weed a lot, and I wanted to experiment with like mushrooms when I was younger. Never got around to doing it because of an overdose I had in 2021. Yeah, 2021. I had an overdose because my shit was laced. So ever since then, I haven't done any drugs. The actual meaning behind the title and the song itself, there's a repeating chorus in it, and it's just me singing "I love drugs," and it's very spacious. Like I'd say, it's a spacious chorus, and it's also like, um, if you can look at a picture of vaporwave, like the vaporwave aesthetic, it's like you're listening to that picture, like kind of like your profile picture on Discord or YouTube. Like it's like you're looking at that, and basically the meaning behind the song is, um, I fell in love with somebody that wasn't right for me. So I made a song about it, and basically the song goes on in detail about how I hated the person at first because I loved them, and it's more of a I hate myself for loving them situation. Um, and it goes on, and I end up loving them because I'm scared to be away from them. I'm scared of the abandonment that comes from not accepting a relationship, and it goes on in the end to me breaking up with that person and getting angry. And there's a faster rap portion at the end where the beat switches a little bit, and yeah, that's basically the whole meaning behind the song. It's not necessarily drugs, but I personify drugs as a girl.
There's a lot of I definitely heard that sort of drugs being like people saying love is like a drug. I've heard that from like many different artists out there.
Yeah, man,
Um,
it really is, cause it could kill. It could even kill you, man. Like
yeah,
just like drugs can. Like relationships just have the same effect as drugs, if not worse. Relationships can get really deadly, especially if you have attachment issues.
yeah,
Um, I personally struggle with being attached to people. I struggle with that. And it's not because I'm fucking weird or anything. I'm not, well, I am weird, but like not in that sense. Um I'm Whenever I'm in a relationship or I'm talking to somebody I really truly care about, I really don't want to lose that person. And over the past few years I've seen a lot of people leave me, that I thought were close to me. And really, it was my fault that some of them left me, but other times it was like they'd leave out of the blue, and it still happens. I mean, I still have people leave me, and I don't really do anything. Like I've become a better person. I don't know what else people want from me, but like people will just seem to get bored of me, because all I talk about is music, and like these attachment issues that I got from that are so strong that sometimes it ruins me talking to a person because it's like I can feel that I'm getting attached to them and then I just swipe it aside. So really it comes back hurting me, but at the same time it could go full circle and hurt everybody involved. And that's why getting healthy mentally first before getting into a relationship is so important, because you don't want to put yourself in an unhealthy state to where you're going to be constantly worried or you're going to feel depressed all the time. You just want to be ready for that commitment and be ready for anything that comes, really. You just got to be mentally ready for that shit. Like it is a drug. Like you got to be mentally ready for psychedelics and shit. So really there's a lot of similarities between relationships and drugs.
yeah. I agree for sure. Well, that's pretty much all the questions that I have for today. But what I want to lead this interview off on is that do you have anything you want to say to the fans who are watching this as like a closing message at all?
Um be yourself, stay creative, and never forget that you are in control of your body.
Hope everybody who's listening to this heard that. Anyway, Umbra, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. It's been nice having you a
Yes,
lot.
sir. It's no problem. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and for the people who are watching, Remember, Morningside Drive coming out very soon. Keep a lookout for it. Keep an eye on Umbra's SoundCloud or Instagram. All his socials will be down in the description, so make sure you follow him so you don't miss it. Turn on the bell on Instagram if you so desire. And without much else to say, we will see you guys next time. Bye bye. You want to say bye?
See.
And end of interview.